The moment everything changed. I knew something was off the second I pulled into the parking lot. This was supposed to be a family trip. My wife, her sister, their parents, the kids, everyone. We had been planning it for months, our group chat buzzing with excitement. But as I stepped out of my car, the only ones there were 5 restless, confused kids. No adults in sight. Frowning, I checked my phone. No missed calls. No text. Uncle Jake. My oldest nephew, Connor, looked up at me. He was 10, old enough to sense when something wasn't right but trying hard to act like everything was normal. The younger ones, 2 of my own kids and 3 from my wife's side, were too preoccupied playing in the dirt or kicking at the curb to notice anything was off. "Where's your mom? Where's Aunt Claire?" asked, keeping my voice steady. Connor shrugged. "They left. Said you were coming." And blinked. "Left. Left where?" Wordlessly, he pulled out his phone and handed it to me. My stomach twisted as I read the message from my wife. "We're going to Hawaii. Take care of the kids. Least be useful." For a moment I just stood there, the words blurring together. I read it again. And again. This couldn't be real. Had to be some kind of sick joke. Any second now, someone would jump out with a camera laughing. Any second now, someone would yell, "Gotcha." But no one did. They were actually gone. I clenched my jaw, forcing myself to breathe. My wife and her family had left. Just taken off to Hawaii without so much as a warning, leaving 5 kids behind like forgotten luggage that wouldn't fit on the plane. I stared at the message, my pulse hammering in my ears. My fingers tightened around the phone, and for a brief moment, I had the urge to hurl it across the parking lot. But I didn't. 'Cause 5 kids were watching me. And right now I was the only adult they had. The decision. I got them into my car, drove them back to my place, and sat at the kitchen table, trying to process what the hell had just happened. Called my wife. No answer. Texted. No response. I called her sister. Nothing. I even tried their mother. Straight to voicemail. I sat there, surrounded by 5 kids who were now my responsibility, trying to wrap my head around one question. What kind of person does this? What kind of mother just leaves her children like this? Anger boiled in my chest. Not just for me but for them. They didn't deserve this. That's when I made the call. CPS arrived the next morning. It wasn't an easy decision, but what else was I supposed to do? I wasn't their legal guardian. I couldn't just keep them indefinitely. And I damn sure wasn't going to be the one left picking up the pieces when their mothers suddenly decided they were ready to come back. The social worker was kind but firm. The process was already in motion, and within hours, the kids were placed in emergency care. My own flesh and blood, stayed with me. And then I blocked my wife's number. I blocked her entire family. I was done. The fallout. A week passed before they came back. I never heard from them directly, just saw the photos on social media. Sun-kissed skin. Tropical drinks. Big carefree smiles. Not a single mention of the kids they had abandoned. Then, the day they landed, my phone rang. Not my wife. Her sister. "What the hell did you do, Jake?" Her voice was sharp, furious. I almost laughed. "What did I do? I took care of your kids. Something you apparently couldn't be bothered to do. You called CPS. Are you insane?" I gripped the phone tighter. "No, but you are if you think you can dump your kids on me with zero warning and just fly off to paradise. It was just a few days," she snapped. "We thought you'd be fine watching them." "No, you didn't," I shot back. "You didn't think at all. You didn't ask. You didn't check. You abandoned them." "Oh, don't be so dramatic," she scoffed. "We needed a break. You don't get it." Oh, I got it. I got that she was selfish. I got that none of them saw anything wrong with what they had done. She was still yelling when I hung up. "End of us." My wife called next. I let it go to voicemail. Then came the texts, the apologies, the justifications, the manipulative guilt trips. I ignored them all. When they finally showed up at my door, I didn't let them in. My wife stood there, still tan from her vacation, arms crossed like I was the problem. Her sister was beside her, red-eyed and fuming. "You ruined everything," my wife spat. I looked at her, really looked at her, and something inside me shifted. I used to love this woman. I used to believe we were a team. But standing there, face to face with her, I realized the truth. I didn't recognize her anymore. And I didn't want to. Go home, I said, voice flat. If you even have one anymore. Her expression faltered. But I didn't wait for her response. I shut the door. And just like that, I was free. Moving forward. I won't pretend it was easy. The divorce was messy. My kids had questions I didn't always have answers for. And some nights, the loneliness felt unbearable. But you know what? I never regretted it. I look at my kids now and I know I made the right choice. Because love isn't about convenience. It's not about what's easy. It's about showing up. And I did.